Hello, and welcome to the next installment of Today's Justice. My name is Fanny. Today we are joined by a random Republican, here to speak out on how corporations are paying too much in taxes. Welcome, random Republican. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, is it my turn to speak? You must talk louder. I cannot hear you over the voices in my head. And please, call me by my given name. RR 20938, M. The M is for male.
Okay, RR 20938, M. Perhaps you should remove the headset.
What's that?
Your headset. Take it off.
You must be mad, woman. I cannot do that. Our new talking points come out by the minute, by the second sometimes. If I remove this headset, I will miss out on something important. It is imperative that we remain lockstep at all times. Woman.
How do you propose we conduct this interview?
The view. Those winches are maddening. They must be stopped. Except for that beautiful Elizabeth Hasselbeck. I do wish that she would just join us in Fox News land. She can replace blonde Bimbet 10958, F. The F is for female. She would fit in just nicely. Do you hear that, Elizabeth? Come home to Daddy.
No. That was not the question. If you cannot hear what I say, how can we possibly move on?
MoveOn.org is run by a gaggle of she-demons.
MoveOn.org is not ran by a gaggle of she-demons. We are getting off topic here. Did you know that corporations like GE and Bank of America did not pay a thing in income tax last year?
Sure I do. I think what we've got is a tax policy that needs a change that allows them to bring earnings they have in subsidiaries offshore back and invest them in this country at a lower tax rate. We are uncompetitive with the rest of the world.
But, if they already pay 0% in taxes, how do we lower the tax rate further?
My job is to reflect the grass of the roots. And the roots of the grass say that corporations are being gutted each year by the government, always looking for a handout. News flash. If you want more money, America, get a job.
It is quite difficult for many Americans to find jobs these days. Will you, and other Republicans like yourself, stick to your campaign promise of focusing on jobs anytime soon?
See, this is why we on the right hesitate to come on shows with this heavy of an obvious liberal bias. You all expect the government to just be your nanny, and to hold your hand, and cuddle you. Not on our watch.
Republicans are working very hard to defund education, including scholarships like the Pell Grant. Your party is also intent on taking rights away from union workers. Why do you hate the poor and the working class so much?
Because they are poor and working class. They ain't paying none of my bills.
Halt. Halt, I say. The Republican powers that be have sent me to take over for you, RR 20938. M, you may go now. Now.
No, But why?
There is no time for idle chit-chat. M. Relinquish your seat, now. Now.
As you wish, my lady.
Well, it appears that we have been joined by half-term governor and professional victim, Sarah Palin. Welcome to the show, Quitter from Wasilla.
Your ass is gross, RR 20938. M. See you back at headquarters. This is what the powers that be get for sending in an amateur.
Welcome to Today's Justice, Mrs. Palin. I take it that you are here to address the issue of corporations profiting in the hundreds of billions, yet not paying taxes. Will the GOP take up this issue anytime in the near future?
Thank you for having me. Yes, listen, the Republican Party is all about taking care of business and cutting the fat from our overly inflated teacher union budgets. The American people are not interested in hearing about how many taxes have been paid by GE and Bank of America. The American people are saying, hey, what about my child who cannot even afford to go to the local flea markets or swap meats because their parents have lost their jobs due to greedy Democrats taxing their bosses far too much? Hey, what about grandma that is off to the local death panel and is on the precipice of having her lights cut off for eternal times? Is that fair? Is that right, America? Listen up, America, this is what the Republican Party is going to do. This is what we are prepared to do, with your help. We are going to get in there and fight for Americans. We're going to be led by that great, glorious shimmering beacon that we call our Northern Star, and we will get it done. But we cannot do that if we ask corporations to pay more than 0% in taxes. We cannot compete with the rest of the world with such outlandful demands.
That made no sense.
It makes perfect sense to the real Americans, who are smart, out there who know, hey, we cannot and will not create jobs as long as the climate of the American liberal elitisms that exists in our lame, stream media is so hostile towards those who will create jobs for our elderly who cannot expect to retire anytime soon. We as Americans need to shore up the jobs that our little ones will need to work in order to prepare for the real world. There is no reason for our children not to work when there are kids in other parts of the world that work for mere pennies and such, to help them prepare for lower-waged jobs once they reach the adult age and the illusion of the American dream. I am here to say that Republicans will work tirelessly to ensure that their medium wages are not as much as it was in the past. Being paid a living wage is simply not a reasonable request. This class warfare against the rich must cease and it must be resisted.
Isn't the real class warfare against the poor and the working class? Shouldn't we be looking for ways to create jobs and otherwise take care of American citizens like, for instance, the elderly, who cannot help themselves? What would Jesus do?
Don't you dare bring him into this. Listen, these little skirmishes that we on the left and right and in the center have on a daily basis only serves to further disenfranchisure those who truly wish to work together and in the true harmony that is the American spirit. When we take back the full control of the United States of America, it is then that we are going to enact our real America's plan for the future act, or RAP. We hope that the acronym RAP will entice the younger generation to, hey, get involved in politics and vote the right way. Oh, and send us their money, also, too.
Just what is this, America's Plan for the Future Act?
Yes. This is an act that will ensure that the bottom feeders and the laziest of our societal collective keep their greedy hands off of the top richest 1% of America.
And how do you intend to do that?
I am glad that you asked that, Franny. We are going to do that by enacting only the right policies. The policies that will show America that we mean serious business now. There is no time for us to diddle or dawdle. We are on the eve of being completely overtaken by Sharia law and the laws of the Quran. And China will have our babies for dinner unless we do something now.
My name is Fanny. Mama Grizzly. Can you please be more specific?
Sure.
I mean, what exactly will RAP do?
The American people are smart enough to know precisely what I am talking about. You and the lame, stream media, Liberal elitists have the hardest problems with understanding the plainest of English. For instance, everyone knows that here in America, we say nuclear and not nuclear, but you liberal elitist pansiffins with your dictionaries with words that are actually words only seek to remind those of us plain, real Americans that we are not good enough. That we are not smart enough. I say pafooey and talk to the hand to that. If it takes you 5 colleges to get 1 degree, go for it. It shows tenacity.
Do you mean tenacity?
I am like Shakespeare.
Not in the least.
Why, thank you. Well, that's it for me. I'm off to another gig where I get to regurgitate the same old tired talking points and get paid $50,000 for it. Ciao, Bella.
But she knows Italian?
Halt. Halt, I say.
Bachman.
Oh crap.